How many of you did the homework task? How many of you did the homework task? Double hands up. Give me some spirit fingers. I need to see some spirit fingers. Blah, 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 blah. Do this as well. Blah, 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 blah. Someone take a photo. That's weird. Okay. Um, Great. You did the homework. Fantastic. And raise your hand if it was challenging. Truly challenging. Okay. Marvelous. You did it anyway, right? What was the hardest part about it? Pop it in the chat or come off mute. What was the hardest part about the homework?
Feeling the fear and doing it anyway.
Feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Who agrees with Julie? Feeling the fear and doing it anyway? Yep. Recording yourself, Ara. Finding time to do it, Andrea. Reading it while making it sound real. Sharing, sharing pain. Okay. How many of you choosing three takeaways? Keeping it short. Yes. How many of you were a little bit frightened of putting yourself on camera and you felt self-conscious and you were worried about what even people in the group chat were going to think of you? Okay. That's typically what holds people back from doing things, is this real fear of judgment, of not being perfect, and people thinking or knowing they're not perfect. Because none of you are perfect, none of us are perfect, but you want people to believe you are. And the reason why you want them to believe you are is because you want them to love you. So deep down inside, we do things purely out of love, right? However, if you are pretending to be perfect and you're not being authentic, they're going to love you less because they're not going to trust you. So I don't know if you know this, but statistically, what percentage do you think that high performers execute at? Like, if you give it a percentage, what is the maximum they perform at? A high performer. If you could have a percentage on it, what would you say?
100?
Yeah, Sharon's said 100. Those who have been coaching with me before, so 80 probably. It's actually statistically 80. So to be a high performer, listen up very closely. To be a high performer requires you to be imperfect. It it requires you to be imperfect. Does that make sense? So low performers, perfect. High performers, imperfect. I know that's not what we are told and learn, but the reality is if you need to go I'm talking about in business. I'm not talking about a brain surgeon. They're taught to be very perfect. So they've got high standards for what they do. But in business, it's not like that. It's actually imperfection that gets you far further. Um, so just so you know, there's no scorecard here on perfection. The only way to get there is to be imperfect for long enough to get there. So you have to be okay with sucking for long enough to get good enough, which is why this is a process. It's not an instant thing. And even the best surgeons would have made tons of mistakes on their way to becoming great. Sadly, people die when they're becoming great. This is good news, yes. That you don't have to be perfect. Any perfectionists on the call? Okay, hands up, perfectionist. Okay, cool. So, um, would it be okay if you weren't perfect anymore? Get up. Any perfectionists? Watch this. This will be funny. Hands up. Hands up, perfectionists. Stand up for me. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up if you're a perfectionist. Okay, stand up. Andrea, I know you're a perfectionist. What? Stand up. Come on. Let's just play the game. Now do a dance. Let's do a fun dance. Random. There you go. Shake it off. Shake it up. That is not perfect. How very dare you? Well done. Thanks for playing 100%. So, you want to walk through life liberated by this feeling that you aren't perfect. It's so fun. And I remember when we bought a business 2 years ago, I'm a lawyer by profession. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a lawyer. And it says on the wall, so it must be true. So I was in a legal office with these pompous, it was a nice office, plaster all in suits, and I'm in, I don't know, pair of shorts and loafers. And we're buying this business, and I didn't have answers to anything. And I was like, I don't know. Do you know that? They go, and they were like perplexed that I didn't know stuff. And I said to them, I said, this is my first time. They said, like, it was just, but it's a student mindset. How am I supposed to know how to acquire a laundromat business? Because I've never acquired a laundromat business before. Does that make sense? How am I supposed to know that? So, how are you supposed to know anything about network marketing? You've never done it before. So have a student mindset when you're doing your videos, seek feedback quickly, ask for feedback as fast as you can, and approach it in the same way that I tend to approach everything is I do it with the intention to be pretty bad at it. And it's pretty laughable actually most of the time, right? And I've never really beat myself up too much. Sometimes, occasionally, if it's a big embarrassment in front of like 1,000 people, but generally, I try not to because it's part of the human condition. And I think how many of you gravitate towards people when they're vulnerable, they're imperfect? How many times have you done? How many of you were like, you saw someone's video that was put in there, and you're like, that's so bad. Thank God. Thank God I'm not the only flippin' bad person. Yes? So you actually gravitate towards people when they're vulnerable. I was given a speech once, and Jesse Itzel was behind the stage. For anyone who doesn't know who he is, he's a big, I don't know, he's a big personal brand. He's a billionaire. He married a billionaire, so they're double billionaires. He's an incredible guy. And I did this talk, and I then left the stage, and he was coming on to keynote after me. And I got off the stage, and as I got off the stage, and I said hello to him, everything, got a photo, and he was about to go on, and he was just pacing up and down. And he was saying, pressure's a privilege, pressure's a privilege, pressure's a privilege. He was just totally nervous. And he does this for a living. Keynotes, 100 grand a pop USD for a living. And he was pacing, worried. So here's a billionaire pacing, worried. So it never really escapes you. You have to just understand that you're going to be in these positions where you're going to be judged, you're going to be imperfect, and you just can't take yourself too seriously. You know? Like, it's okay not to be stiff. That's why I got the guys to just do a dance then. Let's just relax and just be less stiff in your life, in your business, in your home life. Um, just laugh at it. It's quite funny, right? Life is fairly amusing. So can we all agree to we're going to build this Isogenics business? How many of you are committed to building this as a business to get it up to a reasonable income and then be able to do things like invest it, etc.? Great, excellent. It's a real genuine vehicle you can do that with. So with that being said, can we all commit to having fun when we're doing this? Can we all commit to be silly in the group chat? Can we commit to just playing? Can we play while we're doing this business? Yes? Hands up if you're on board with playing, making it fun, making a mess, not being perfect. Yep, marvelous. I feel like if you can take this philosophy on in all that you do, you're just going to live a better life, right? I can't begin to tell you how many mentors have taught me how to be less stiff, but I want to impart this to you that it's better to be less stiff and more fun and amusing and just laugh at yourself. Okay? Self-degradation, totally fine. Okay? So that being said, well done to those who did the homework. It's not easy to record yourself on camera, but guess what? That's just the start. Some of you are like, oh, if I do it, I'll get it done. It's done. How many of you are like, it's done? You're like Frodo when throwing the ring into the fire at the end of the Lord of the Rings. It's done. How many? Hands up. Well, I got some bad news for you. You've got to do 1,000 more. Sorry. Those who go to the gym to build muscles, I was in the gym today, same thing. I've been doing it for years. Unfortunately, I've got to keep doing the same thing if I want the same result. But tell me, pop in the chat or unmute and tell me what happens when you do the same thing over and over again.
Muscle memory.
Gets easier.
Yes, gets easier. What else?
Becomes your life.
You get better. You get better. The only reason Alicia and I are good is because we've done 1,000 more reps than you. That's all it is. We're not smarter. We're not better. We just did more. So some of you look at Katrina and you're like, oh my God, Katrina's amazing. She enrolls people. She does it. She's just been around doing it for 7 years. You stick around here for 7 years too, you'll be good as well. Right? So that's the process by which you become successful. And unfortunately, the money is in lag. So you might be a millionaire in lag. By which means your skills are here. This is a level 10 opportunity because you can make a ton of freedom income without a lot of risk, without any risk actually. But your skill set might be a level 2 skill set. Level 10 opportunity, level 2 skill set. So when you build your skill set by doing iterations again and again and again and again and again, you build your skills. And eventually it pays you like a level 10 opportunity. Give me a thumbs up if this makes sense. Most people are in a level 2 opportunity, which is a job, which is about to become a level 1 opportunity with AI. And their skills are probably a level 3 or a level 4. So what happens to someone who's in a level 1 or 2 opportunity, a job that sucks that they just don't like, but they've got skills at level 3 or 4? What do they do?
Change jobs.
They jump out. They jump out of the job. They're seeking opportunity like this. So some of you might be level 3 or 4 skill set in a level 1 or 2 opportunity job, and you're here because you know you're worth more and you're better, and you need a creative outlet, you need to skill up. You've got a growth mindset. How many of you got a growth mindset? You want to get better at stuff in life. Marvelous. So this suits you down to a T. But here's the problem. It's a level 10 opportunity. So you jump out of the pond into the ocean. And you start going, oh, I'm not good. There's people back. But yeah, it's because you're a level 2 skill set in a level 10 opportunity. And the only way to get to a level 10 skill set is to stick around. That's the only way. It's the only way. It's the only way for Andrea to get better at the story she did, which is already pretty good, is to do it another 50 times. It's just the only way. Like, there is no shortcut. The shortcut is the long cut. And people get disheartened by this a lot because they came here to make money. But a level 10 opportunity will only pay you like a level 10 opportunity when you have a level 10 skill set. So you have to be patient. Very patient. You have to do the same thing over and over again, which is good they don't change because you get better, and be okay with that. You have to be okay with that. Alicia and I have been sending links to people to enroll in Isagenix for 12 years. The same message, the same link. We've run this side hustle school the same many, 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 many years. Longer than I'd imagine that maybe some of you have been in your job. So you have to be okay with that if you want to be rich, if you want to be financially secure, if you want to be different, if you want to be what others aren't. So how many of you are willing to be patient and do the reps, even if you're not getting paid, to be able to skill up and really grow as a person? Marvelous. If your hand is up, you can make it. But if you came here for money, you were not going to make it. Because you're not going to get much money initially. It will just catch up to your skill set over time. Okay? Skill set, mindset. So before I go into the slides quickly, how many of you know how to get better at mindset? Jerry? How do you get better at mindset?
You continuously show up to the things that you don't think you're good enough for.
Sure. What else?
Oh, you continuously do things you're afraid of.
Yes. Even the end, yes, definitely. If you do it when you're afraid of them, you grow even faster and your mindset improves more. But just doing things, moving through obstacles, challenging things, but just doing things. That's how you improve your mindset. You don't improve your mindset by thinking. I want to make that really clear. You can't think your way to a better mindset. You must do to a better mindset. Here's an example. How many of you were scared before you did the video, the 30-second video? Right? And how many of you did it anyway and you were chuffed and had more self-esteem that you finally did it? Wonderful. Your mindset improved and it said a news story saying, hey, you did that. Well done, you. But you didn't do it by thinking. You did it by doing. So if you want to go faster, do more. No one's got a governor on you. Alicia and I aren't sitting here going, Andrea, you can only do one video this week and that's it. That's your quota. You're done. No one's doing that. If you want to, you can get off this call today and do your 30-second story 100 times in a row in front of the mirror. No one's stopping you. There's no governor on you. But I promise you, the person that does the most reps wins. That's all it's about in the business world. Reps, 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 reps in anything, really. Reps in the gym, reps in the business world, reps, 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 reps. Okay? Okay. Oh, did you enjoy the compensation plan video? Do you understand it? Bunch of flippin' liars. You don't understand it. I didn't understand it. How can you understand everything like that? How can you possibly understand cycles? How many are confused by the cycles? Great. We've got 5, 6, 7, 8 honest people. Okay. I was confused. It took me ages to learn it. How many of you are like me and learn slow? Marvelous. Great. So would it be okay if we were just patient as to what we can learn over time and you can just give yourself a bit of grace and just learn things slowly? Is that okay? Marvelous. Excellent. Okay, here we go. I hope you like our. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Okay, let's go to the slides. Oh, here. Is this them? Is this them? Oh, shit. Where'd they go? Ah, here we go. Okay. So that's the school week 2. By the way, if you want to take video and share it to your stories, you're welcome to, right? If you're welcome to take a photo of this, post it on your feed and say, I love what I'm learning in Side Hustle School to make extra money. That would be a way for people to step towards you and say, what's Side Hustle School? Great question. There's a webinar coming up in a month. Would it be okay if I invited you? Yes, it would. Bang. Do you see how simple this can be if you're just sharing what you're up to in your life? Yeah? Okay. Don't get your phones out too fast. Okay, homework week 1. We went through that. Oh, watch the conversation, become an associate, create a recommended cart. Did anyone have any problems with that? As in the recommended cart stuff and becoming an associate? Joe had a problem? You good though?
Yeah, got it sorted. Just
Right.
yeah, just didn't add enough stuff to
Has it
my
got-
cart the first time. Had to do it about
Oh,
3
okay.
times.
Okay, perfect. So what
Yeah,
you did was you
figured
went
it
and
out.
did something you didn't know how to do. You came against some obstacles, you worked it out, and then you solved it, yeah?
Yep, done.
Great. You can be successful. Okay, that's what it
Yeah.
takes. Yeah. All right. Anyone's battle buddy not on here? Anyone's partner? Sammy, yours not on? Timmy? Okay. We lost one, but that's okay. Great. If you don't have, hands up if you don't have a battle buddy on, or you don't have a battle buddy, a partner. Tracy? Miriam? So Tracy and Miriam, you go together. Okay? Cool. Pop a yes in the group chat right now so you know who each other are. Add each other on Facebook so you can connect. Martin, you don't have one? Anyone want to partner with Martin? Good looking. Lots of muscles. Also taken. Let's pop that bubble. Anyone? All right, you're gonna form the threesome with Tracy and Miriam. Cool. So if you guys can pop that in there, you can hold each other accountable. Great. Okay, give me a quick photo. One, two, three, go. Okay, awesome. Okay, some feedback on your stories to get better. Okay, here we go. This is how to get better on your story. Start with a hook. I noticed that Andrea actually did start with the hook. Interesting. I don't know where she learned that, but that's correct. Start with a hook. So a hook is, have you ever? It's a question. Or dramatic, like, I was at the doctor's office and he gave me some news I couldn't believe. Something that hooks their attention. Usually it's a question, right? Keep it 60 seconds or less. Very important. Make sure the main light is in front of you. So I'll give you an example. That's a light that's in front of me. Off. Lighting's really important. So if you want to know where to put the light, you put it behind the phone or behind the camera so the light's on you. Does that make sense? It makes a huge difference. Show up presentably. So hairbrush, just be tidy, right? You don't want to be a hot mess. Like at least look presentable. It just creates a lot of trust. Bring energy. So like give you an example, ready? Before I started the program, I had no energy, and then I was introduced, and I have so much more energy than I used to have. Does that make sense? If you're about energy, bring some energy to it. It's just it. Someone gave me some advice once. They said, when you're on camera, do things at a heightened energy that's 2 to 3x what you normally speak at, because it comes through differently. So it's okay if you sound like if you're doing more because it's just normal when people are listening. It's engaging. Okay, it's a bit like when you're in front of the camera and it adds 10 pounds. Have you heard that before? Well, the decibels go down too, so you can just go over the top's fine. Okay, clean your camera on your phone before you do the video. So clean with your shirt, just clean the camera. It makes a huge difference. Look directly to the camera lens, not at yourself. Keep your background simple. So it's just a standard background's effective. And for some of you, inside in your living room at 7 o'clock at night when it's really dark is a bit weird. It's a bit like Norman Bates in the hotel. So in the daytime, go outside and have a garden behind you or something. It's really spooky if you're just inside by yourself in the dark. Hey, buy my stuff. It's just so just make sure you want to. I think a really engaging way to do it is to walk and tell your story. That's very engaging too. Um, so keep your background simple. Hold your phone steady on a tripod. Shoot vertical like this, up and down. Film. You probably end up doing like maybe 10 or 20. How many of you did like 10 or 20 takes? That's very normal. Okay, when you're first starting out. Turn off your background noise. Keep your phone at eye level. Wear solid colors and check your audio. I know this is like, what the heck? Look at this. But we're teaching you to become marketers. And marketers have clear messages that make sense and engage. Okay, so here's an example. Have you ever found yourself laying awake at night scrolling through stories of people who have achieved financial freedom through passive income? That's the hook. Have you ever scrolled through your phone at night watching people who have found financial freedom through passive income? Your eyes are heavy, but your mind races with possibilities. But you can feel the frustration. I'm reading that, by the way. So, Have you? It's an example. Okay, so that's feedback on your stories, okay? Because we're going to do it again this week. And you're going to factor that into your story and do it again, okay? There's a face-to-face event coming. If you want to know one of the things that we've always done and will always do to build this business is we always go to events and we always take people. Always. I would say it's the highest paid skill in network marketing. If you've ever read a book called GoPro, which I encourage everybody to read on this call, GoPro by Eric Worre, in the book he says, and he's true, he's right. The highest paid skill in network marketing is getting to events and taking someone. That's the highest paid skill. Okay, the highest paid skill is taking someone to an event. And the reason for that is because when you take someone there, They get a full vision cast of what this opportunity is all about in real time in one day. It's half a day actually, and you don't have to do anything. There's no effort from you. They will buy into the vision. They'll understand the products. They'll understand the comp plan. They'll understand the company. They'll everything in half a day, and they'll be all in with you on the business. How many of you would love a business partner to be able to do double the work with half the effort? Okay, great. Double the productivity, half the effort. My suggestion would be take one person to this event and you can double your business size instantly. So we got one in Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, Brisbane, Auckland. These are the guys running it. You get a ticket by the bottom link. I don't want to go into too much, but these are non-negotiable. If you're serious about building this as a business, we will be there. We'll be at the Brisbane one. But go along and take someone. Just don't even hesitate. If you hesitate, you may as well just pack up your bags and go home. No joke. If you're within driving distance, or, I understand it's a little bit trickier with the petrol, but just get to this if you can. It'll just change. How many of you would like to accelerate your success and progress by up to 6 months? If you want to go 6 months faster, you'll be at this event. If you want to go 6 months slower, you won't be at the event. That's the difference. Okay. It's really that important. For those in the States, this one's what you want to get to in Canada. And of course, our Europeans get to this one in Europe. Okay. So we did a photo, go us. Let's talk about the money. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Those who understand it, earn it. Those who don't, pay it. Okay. Compounding. What's interesting about this is that interest, that's a pretty funny thing. Everything compounds. Did you know? How many of you have ever eaten McDonald's before? What happens if you eat it every day? Go on, Cheryl. Come off mute and tell me what happens. I can read your lips.
I said you get fat.
Yeah. So you compound, yes? Outwards. Your fat cells compound. It's get more and more and more. That's why the fat get fatter, faster. It's like a snowball. So the decisions you make about what you eat compound you in or out, yes or yes. The same goes with your skills. So for example, the reason why Katrina keeps coming to Side Hustle School and why she's a leader is because she continues to compound the skills that she learnt last time. So the skills you're learning now, you come back, you learn again, you compound again, and in 10 years' time, you'll have compounded on the previous skill that you wouldn't have got before the previous skill, if you hadn't got the previous skill, if you hadn't got the previous skill, if you hadn't have come to the very second or third Side Hustle School. It's just this compound effect, effectively forever. Now, Warren Buffett has been learning since he was about 7, and he's now 95, and he's worth $150 billion. So he's compounded that through skill and knowledge and money. So this is why I love this game, because this game is infinite. There's a guy we know called Jimmy Smith. He's the #1 income earner in all of Isagenix in the world. We met him in Nashville. He just turned 98. And he has earned $80 million. And he continues to do this day in, day out because it gives him purpose. All of you guys can do this till you're 98. So you've got plenty of time to get good at it, right? But if you quit or you go back, you won't compound any skills. And then when AI takes your job, you'll be FUKT. So stick around and get good by doing. With network marketing, there's a lot of leverage in this. Now, leverage is interesting. It means that you don't have to do a lot of stuff that you'd normally do to make money. So John D. Rockefeller, the richest man in history, they say, pound for pound, he cornered the oil market, and he said that I'd rather receive 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. How many of you agree you'd prefer to earn 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of your own? Yes. Similarly, it's better to earn 1% of a watermelon than earn 100% of a grape, as an example. Yes? So the whole idea with network marketing, what you're seeing here is the watermelon. And what you're going to learn on this training today is the fact that you don't have to do all the heavy lifting to make the money. It's a fascinating concept. And those who have been in employee world 9 to 5 for their whole life, living inside that matrix, this is a profound discovery. And you go, what? You're telling me I make money of other people's efforts? I've never experienced that before. But you get to in network marketing. Okay. So Isagenix lets you earn from the efforts of your entire team. That's the game. So let's say, for example, we enrolled Cheryl. Since Cheryl enrolled, as an example, I'm just going to pull someone here. Cheryl enrolled, uh, Joe enrolled. Now, what Cheryl may not know is that when Joe orders products, Cheryl gets the points. The points equal money. So, Cheryl, you get to benefit from Joe's orders even though you didn't do any work to get Joe. Does that make sense? It will after this.
If I signed her up,
No, you didn't sign her up. I'll just show you on this training. Just what the basis of this training is to show you how to make money that's not purely based on your own efforts. How many of you are excited to learn that concept? Great, that's what we're going to learn today. So pop a yes in the chat if you've made money with Isagenix. Pop a yes in the chat if you've made money with Isagenix. Okay, marvelous. Excellent. So here's the first tip to flip the script. The business is the vehicle to make money. So when you make money, I would suggest when you make an Isagenix payment, you want to use it for your own Isagenix business. Does that make sense? You don't want to get in the habit of making money. Like, let's say you sign someone up and make $50 as an example. Great. Don't take the $50 and go and buy McDonald's for the kids. Don't take the $50 and put petrol in the car. Utilize the $50 to either pay for your products, buy a ticket to the next event, buy the GoPro book, or what else could you do? I suppose you could put some petrol in the car if you're going to go to an event. But really, what I mean to say is use the money to fund the business because it needs it. Okay. And eventually, when you start earning enough profits, there's nothing left to fund the business because it's scaling. You can then pay yourself and scale it into some shares and build that up. Okay. Discipline, the practice of training yourself to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. Okay. The line between success and failure. So sometimes you might want to do the homework, sometimes you might want to do the tasks, sometimes you might want to send the messages, whatever it might be. Sometimes you don't want to have to do it, but you've got to do activities to get results, okay? So here's the 6 ways to get paid. 20% product introduction bonus. So when you enroll someone, you get paid 20% of what they spend. 0.2 times whatever they spend. Okay? Rank advancement bonuses, team builders club, teamwork, which is where you're making money from other people's efforts, 10% executive match, incentive trips and promotions. So here we go as an example. 20% product introduction bonus. You refer someone, they buy Isagenix, you get paid 20% of the spend. Have I lost anyone yet? Pretty straightforward stuff. Okay, there's an example down the bottom. Boom. That's called a product introduction bonus or a PIB. That's called active income. You've all experienced active income. That's the process by which you do an activity, expend energy and effort, and you get paid based on the effort. Not your time, the effort, the result, the performance. Okay? There's another real life example. $332 pack, get paid $66. Cool. By the way, 20% is pretty good. If you're out there as a sales consultant for most gigs, even like high ticket, etc., the commissionable rate is 15%. So just so you know, you're getting a commissionable rate that's higher than the industry standard here. It's very good. Okay, just so you know. It's quite amazing, actually. All right, so then you get paid for what's called rank advancement bonuses. Okay, rank advancement bonuses. So when you hit consultant, you get paid $50. You're just basically helping two people, one each side, on your left and your right. Crystal Manager, if you do that within 60 days, you get $250 USD. It's when you create two consultants. Crystal Director, it's where you get paid 750 US dollars if you do it within 120 days, if you create six consultants. And Crystal Executive, you get paid 2,000 US dollars if you do it within 180 days when you create 10 consultants. Okay. So 60, 120 days, 180 days. Now, to graduate from Side Hustle School, you have to hit the rank of consultant. So you're just enrolling one left and one right. Okay? We're going to keep it simple, but I'll explain as we go. So you have two legs in Isagenix. You got your left leg and your right leg. Okay? So for example, to go consultant, you enroll one person on your left, one person on your right, and you are a consultant. You get $50 for doing that, plus you get the PIBs. Then if you want to go manager, they each have to share with two. They both go consultant, you go manager. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves here, but this is the idea of this business. They give you these ranks as a goal. Like, what should I be doing? Follow the ranks. What's my next rank? What's my next rank? What's my next rank? Now, for some of you, you're just like, I just want to get one bloody customer. Great. Let's chunk it down and just focus on getting one customer. But the question is, what do you have to do to get one customer? And that's what we're going to teach you over the next 3 weeks in Side Hustle School. That's what we teach you here. How to get customers, right? Sadly, you've got to do stuff. And it's stuff that you're probably not used to doing, okay? But I want you to show you the ranks because the ranks are important to an important way to make money, okay? So the best way to learn the compensation plan is to participate in it. You can watch that video we put for homework a million times over, but until you're in the game doing it, how many of you have you've seen your mum or your parents or something or play a board game when you're younger and you didn't know how to play it and you only learnt it really by stepping in and playing. You ever done that before? It's the same as this. Getting dirty with it and just figuring it out as you go. Okay? So here's what I'd love to do. Where's Alicia? Is this a breakout? No. Mastermind? Okay. So what I'd love to know is, and pop in the chat, have a think about this, write it down. What would you have to do to get a customer? One enrollment. Tell a story, talk to people, post in DMs, keep sharing my story, sell a story, advertise results, use your products and share your story. Talk to someone. Follow the steps provided. Post, talk, invite value. Follow up. Okay, here's my question. So if you all know the answers, how many of you are using the products? Great. That's actually the first step to getting a customer. The very first step. Can someone tell me why that's an important step?
Because you can talk from your own personal experience and the benefit and everything you've had.
Yes. Yes. Great answer. You are your first customer. So if successful customers create more successful customers because they see it, wouldn't it be best to work on the very first customer you have, which is you? There was a guy once, still probably is, Jay, what's his last name? He's probably like fifth top income earner in Isagenix. And he did this training once. And we were only new, we were probably back in 2015 or something. And we're at a big event. And he comes out and he says, I'm going to give you the 3 steps for success in Isagenix. I'm like, oh, this is going to be amazing. This guy, Jay, he made like $200,000 last month. This is going to be so good. And I'm like waiting on bated breath. He's like, step 1, use the products. And I was like, I came to Las Vegas all this way to hear this dickhead tell me to use, like, are you kidding? No, he's not kidding. And after being a leader in this company for so long, I now understand what he means. For me, that made sense. But for some reason, it may not make sense to everyone. We're all not the same. But I was like, that makes, of course, like, I'm my own way. If I don't use the product, I don't get results. If I don't get results, I can't share it. If I can't share it, I can't get people on board. Of course, Jay. But now I get it. There's people trying to build this business without believing in the products because they're not using them properly, because they're looking for the fast route and they're trying to build quickly and get money and stuff like that. And they're forgetting that they're actually got to follow a system to get results. Because your story is foundational to getting people on board. And you don't have a story because if you don't have results, you have no story. So the first step to getting a customer is to be a product of the products, which includes cleanse days. Which includes following it, right? Now, when you get results, what do you do next? Any results, whether it's more energy, whether you're saving time, whether you're saving money on a $4 smoothie instead of a $15 Macca's meal, whether you're losing weight, whether you're losing bloating, whether your gut is improved, whether you're pooping better. Well, I don't care what your flipping story is. It has to be some level of improvement in something. How many of you have seen some small incremental improvement in some area of your health since using the system? Any of the products, collagen, anything. Okay, good. So provided you followed it and get some result, you now know it works, yes? Marvelous. What's the next step?
Tell people about it.
I love it. Tell people about it, but it's very high. It's a very broad statement. When you say tell people about it, how does one do that?
Genuinely share your experience.
How do you genuinely share your experience? Give me an example.
Following your hook and so forth, or your experience or results, either video or written format on Facebook, Instagram,
Okay.
something.
So you're suggesting some sort of post, a video post or a social media post or a text post. Yes, written post. So advertising is what you're suggesting.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yep.
And so how many of you advertised your results in some respects more than once this week? Hands up. Isn't that interesting?
I've posted more of my failures than my, because I've failed a few days. So I'm sharing my experience and most
Very
of it's
authentic of you.
failure.
Okay. So no, that's okay. So have you had a result of any kind? A positive result?
Yeah, I've had results. I've lost 3 kilos and my workouts are way better, but I've still failed in that journey in this 3 weeks.
Sure, that's okay. But would it be okay if you shared a non-failure?
I do. I share both, but I share
Okay.
it all.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're sharing your journey. You're documenting the journey for others to follow. Yeah. Great. That's a really great way of doing it. In fact, I would say that's the way to do it. I like that you're just showing people what you're up to. That's very, very clever. Does it take much effort to just show people what you're doing in your life? Did you have to craft a special reel with all these captions and things? Did you have to get in a content team? You just document, yeah? How you going, guys? This is what I'm doing. Yep. Okay, cool. So if you want to get more customers, and Cheryl's correct, that includes posting, etc. What happens if you don't do any of that?
Nobody knows.
If you don't, there's
Nobody knows. And what if no one knows?
No customers.
No customers. What happens if you get no customers?
No money.
No money. What happens if you get no money?
You cry.
Cry. Okay. So everything leads to something else. Now, why don't people post?
they're afraid.
Of what?
Their ego getting people judging them.
Their friend from school judging them? Yep. from school that went to school 40 years ago and you're still thinking about them?
Getting hate comments on their like slander and stuff from people that maybe didn't work. You know how there's always that thing where there's a saying that the thing works because it works for some, it doesn't work for all, but it's because they didn't work it themselves.
All right, so you're afraid of getting some people that don't agree with what you're up to? Yep. Uh,
Being in a community and people talking about you and wondering what you're on.
oh, yes.
Yeah. It's like, what's she
You're
up
afraid
to?
of that.
Mm.
So how many of you are afraid of posting? Okay. So what's the way to overcome the fear of posting?
Post.
Keep doing it.
Right, do it. So how many now let me ask you this question. What do you post?
Your story.
Yes, that would be a good start. Your story. Just start with your story. Okay. Now you could upload your video story that you did into ChatGPT. How many of you use ChatGPT of some kind or Gemini or Claude or some AI? Yep. So you can upload your video story into chat and ask it to recreate that with a hook and a body and a call to action, or a hook and a story, and put your video into a story, into text, and you could ask it to give you 10,557 different versions of that. And it'll sit there and do it for you instantly without any effort from you. And you are welcome to post that as much as you can and as much as you want to in your feed. So I would say that storytelling is what Katrina's superpower has become because she learned to do story. She learned the power of story through this training. And she then went, you know what? I'm going to get good at hooks and stories. And I'm going to craft hooks and stories about all the things in my life around health and money and stuff like that. And I'm going to bring people on this journey with me. And obviously, Elizabeth is doing the same thing. And that's what people buy. They buy your story. They buy the breakthrough. They buy your confidence. They buy your health. They buy your results. They want to see themselves in your results. So how long does a story have to be?
Less than 60 seconds.
Yes, and if you're saying it, it's nice and short, 30 to 60 seconds. But what if you're posting it?
Make it short and have a before and after photo.
What about this? Oh my God, I'm down 2 kilos today. I love this program. Next day, oh my God, the scales moved again. Next day, what I love about this program is I'm saving money. Next day, love the chocolate. Can't believe I'm having a chocolate milkshake and losing weight. Can't believe I woke up before my alarm today. That's never happened before. The front bum of my body is shrinking. And what if you just went back and listened to this replay and listened to every single one of those that I did, as long as they're true and accurate to your own situation, and you took each one and you put it into ChatGPT and said, give me 10,557 more of those. And what if 2 to 3 times a week you just posted that? How many of you could do that? No, not on a video, just a simple post on Facebook. We had a lady in our team. She probably brought in 7,000 customers. How many of you would love 7,000 customers in your business? Yeah, rocketed my dad's income to 3.5 grand a week. He's one of our associates. And when she came in, she didn't speak much English. She's from Netherlands. And she lost 20 kilos, to be fair. She was a smoker, drinker. She's kind of like female version of my dad. And then she lost 20 kilos, and she just posted pretty much the same photo with the same story for 5 years. And you went to her Facebook, and it's just that whole story, almost the same with her on the scales. Like there was maybe two or three stories she posted, but she posted it every day, all day for 5 years. And she brought in 7,000 customers. This is not a complex business. What we're doing here is not complex. We've got a big notice board called Facebook. It's still the biggest platform in the world. There's probably 1 billion people on it. And you are at liberty to add as many people as you want as friends. You can talk to as many people as you want, and they will see what you post about. And you're welcome just to post your journey, different stories, different hooks, different posts about what you're up to. There is no limit to what you can post. And the friends you've currently got are probably not going to buy forever from you. You're going to have to meet new people. But the reality is, it's just posting, 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 posting as much as you can. It just doesn't matter. But what definitely doesn't work is doing nothing. And I was talking to someone today, and I said, "Oh, I forget what." It's almost like we're having a tug of war as to who's got it harder. And I'm thinking to myself, I know it's challenging now, but do you know how amazing it is that you've got this contraption that generates content like in a split second? How many of you want to write your entire posts from start to finish with hooks? My goodness. So you've got a huge advantage right now. You don't have to say comments or anything like that. Listen, we're going to get into copywriting. I just wanted to mastermind how to get your first customer. So how many of you are a bit more clear now how to get your first customer? Great. Would it be okay if I gave you a quick shortcut so you can get a customer this week? Yes? Great. What I would suggest you do is nail your 30-second story, the video version, and ask 10 people in your network if they could give you some feedback on your video story. Hey Jenny, what's up? Random question, but I just did this video story about this thing that I'm doing. Would it be okay if you gave me some feedback? Yeah, Cheryl, send it over. Cool Norris, here it is. Oh, I really love it. It's good. It's that. What's the program? Bang. Great question. I'm so glad you asked. Are you interested in learning more about it? Well, it sounds pretty good. Would it be okay if I ask you a couple of quick questions to see if it could be a good fit? Sure. What is it you wanting to achieve health-wise? Why do you want to achieve that? What's currently stopping you? If there was a way where you could do it like I have, would it help you? Yes. Would it be okay if you watched a quick video that explained it? Yes. Did the video link come through okay? Did it make sense? Yes, it did. Which pack would you like? This one or this one? This is as simple as it needs to be, but no simpler. What is the answer to what? What's the answer to what? Okay, that's good. Well done. You know how to get customers now. Okay, so going here with the pipeline story from the webinar. So we got, in the webinar when I talk about Bill having the buckets and he was carrying the water to the well each day and getting the water, and then he was getting, if there was no work, there was no water. Whereas Bob, on the other hand, he went and built a pipeline, right? The idea is that the isogenic cycles are your pipeline, and your job is the water fetching. So your job will allow you to build the pipeline. Okay. Now here's what I mean by that. The pipeline is this. This is how you generate recurring income that's not based just on your effort. So there's you here, okay, and you enroll one left and one. You've got a left leg and a right leg. Now, whenever anyone orders a product, so let's say, for example, let's use this as an example. I use green. So let's say Kylie enrolled Cheryl here. This is Cheryl. Okay. And Cheryl ordered 300 BV. Then there's 300 BV ordered from Kylie's left bank or left pipeline. Does that make sense? The left pipe. Now let's say Kylie, let's say Cheryl, who Kylie doesn't know Cheryl's friend Jenny. Kylie does not know Cheryl's friend Jenny. But Cheryl enrolls Jenny. And Jenny orders 300 BV worth of product, which is a pack. Yes? And that BV flows up through to Cheryl. So Cheryl gets it in her left. But then Kylie also gets it in her left. And then let's say Jenny finds someone that Cheryl and Kylie both don't know, and Jenny does the work, enrolls this person, they get 300 BV because they order a pack. 300, 300, 300. So Kylie's generated 900 BV in her left side, and she didn't do any of this work. She enrolled Cheryl, but Cheryl enrolled Jenny. Jenny enrolled this other chick. So with the Isagenix compensation plan, it's a binary plan. Binary means two. One left leg, one right leg. Now, for you to earn $54 US from recurring income for the week, you have to have 300 BV on one side and 600 BV on the other side. So in that week, had Kylie just put these people on her left, she'd have 900 BV in one side, but 0 in the other. Based on this, would she have earned one cycle? No. She has 900 on one side, 0 on the other. So if she wants to earn a cycle, she has to get a customer, or the customer has to enroll the entire customer team. Whether you accumulate 100 from this person, 100 from that person, 100 from this person, that's 300. The right leg has to accumulate 300. Now, if that happens, then guess what? Isagenix will take the 300 away from her. They'll take the 600 away from her in the points. So the points leave her system. They leave her in the back office. You'll see your points accumulated, BV. Isagenix will take the points away, like frequent flyer points, and in return, they will give you money. How many of you use like Coles or Woolworths rewards? This is the same as that, but the reward is cash. Okay? But what's interesting is this. For example, Kylie, she's going to get paid the 600 from the left that was built up. Some of it wasn't from her effort. Kylie didn't do this one. And she didn't do this one. How dare she get paid? This is the nature of leveraged income. Right? You get paid based on the work that you don't do. You share in the workload. Now, Isagenix calculates this for you automatically. You don't have to sit there and calculate this. It's all in your back office. You go to your back office, you log in, isagenix.com, back office, go there, click on My Business, open this up, and you'll see left side, you'll see the volume, points. Right side, you'll see the volume, points. It says it there, how much BV you've got there in the banks, in your pipelines. One there, one there. Once one gets to 300, the other gets to 600, bang, you earn a cycle of $54. So you can see why it's really exciting when I share these real true life stories of people like Alicia and I enroll my dad. Hello, Daddy, there you are. He enrolls this lady called Susan here, and she brings in 7,000 people. And all the volume from all their purchases, 300, 300, 300, 300, for every month they purchase, 300, 300, 300, goes all the way up to my dad's left and into our right bank. Bang. So our volume in our right accelerates. And all of a sudden, we don't have just 300 on the right. We've got 180,000 on the right. Now, 180,000 on one side and 100,000 on the other side is like $13,000 a week. Now, what's interesting is Susan didn't find 7,000 people herself. She found 2. 2! She found 2! And one of them found another. 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 And another. And another. And another. I don't know who the hell these people were. We're over here in Australia. They're in the... You don't know, right? I don't know some of the people in sales school that are making... I don't know. I don't know who their customers are. They do. Does this make sense? Does it make some sense? I know it's not going to be perfect. This takes a little bit of time to learn. But you understand the concept that when you bring in a customer, yes, you get paid some active income, 20% bring them in. But you've got to understand that when that person brings someone in, you can also get paid recurring income. Am I frozen? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you're frozen. It's very funny.
It's weird.
I think he's frozen. So in the meantime, I wanted to share as well. So with the two legs, so you obviously get the BV flowing through your left sales team and your right sales team when you enroll a brand new customer, or if your new customer enrolls a customer. But what's really exciting is every month when they go in and they reorder, month in, month out, month in, month out. So Katie's on the call. Katie, how long have you been ordering products for?
Nearly 11 years.
11 years. So I introduced Katie to Isagenix 11 years ago, and every month when she orders, her BV flows up to me. So I think that's really powerful as well. So when Lloyd talks about leverage and he talks about reoccurring income, it's yes, you get the BV initially when you first enroll a customer, but it's also those reoccurring orders over and over and over again that you get paid on, which is really cool. Are you back?
Back.
Like
So
you
this is a
never
really good
left.
example of that, right? I don't know why my camera stopped working, but so this is the example Alicia's talking about. Your team member, Katie, orders 100 BV every month. More than that, probably, I would say. Now she enrolls customers who we don't know who they are. Katie gets an enrollment. I don't know who they are. She did the work, but the BV also flows to Katie and to us. Right? So help every team member stay on auto ship so they're active. When you enroll someone, teach them to enroll others. And a team member who enrolls 10 active customers adds serious business volume to your pipeline. So it's not just about you learning to enroll people. You'll eventually bring some of your customers and they'll want to enroll people too. This is why bringing someone to an event is a very effective idea, because they go, hey, Cheryl, I know I'm just a customer, I'm your first one, but this bloody event's bloody good. Like, I want to do this. Great. Anyone that they bring in, you can benefit. Okay. So you enroll Sarah, Sarah enrolls a customer, Lisa. Lisa also orders Isagenix every month forever. Every single order Lisa places creates BV, but it gets better. This doesn't just work for Sarah's customers, it works 100 levels deep. Listen, it works 100 levels deep. There are people ordering now around the world that we have no idea who they are.
Just wanted to add in there, I know it's been 11 years, but by staying active, it's a fun number to see. I had like over 4 million BV at one point sitting on one of my sites. It's fun to see, right? Got to obviously actually do the work to be able to have the cycles, and obviously the other on the other side, but pretty cool, right? Because from when Alicia enrolled me, go on. Sorry, go on, okay.
Yeah, so what's happened to Katie? What she's talking about is we enrolled Katie on our right sales team leg here. Katie, this is a real life example. And Katie enrolled 11 years ago. And while Katie enrolled, we also enrolled some people below her there, here, who then enrolled others. And there's maybe, I'd have a guess at maybe 9,000 people below Katie. And anytime one of those 9,000 people orders products, the volume flows to Katie. That's why she's got 4 million in one side. But the reason why she has 4 million in one side is because to unlock that volume and turn it into money, she's got to enroll people on her left side, because to get a cycle, $54 and get paid, you need to have 300 BV on one side. So over here, you have to have 300, and this side, 600. Now, how many times does 600 go into 4 million? Do 4 million divided by 600. What's the number? Katie, what's the number? Get out your calculator.
Is it like 6,666?
6,666
Thanks,
cycle.
Kylie.
So how much is a cycle?
$54.
You times that by 54. What's the number?
It is
360,000.
Yeah, so there's $360,000 sitting here in unused volume. So to tap it, Katie would want to enroll people on her left who enroll others and get this volume flowing here. And it unlocks all that money. There's a trust fund. Now, just so you know, other network marketing companies, every month they cancel that on you. That's why people will come to you and go, network marketing sucks, you don't make money. And they're right, because they're with a shit company, with a shit comp plan and shit products. So yes, I agree with them. It sucks, but it's not here. The volume that you don't use for the month, that you don't monetize by building the other leg, they hold it for you forever. It's a trust fund until you get the skills and the know-how and the necessary means to build the other leg. Right? So Katie's pretty much got her career set out for her now. She just needs to go after this left leg and she can do it for the next 10 years and make a ton of money. Okay? She'll make more than that. Much more.
Who decides who goes the left leg and who goes the right leg?
Well, if, for example, Cheryl, if we enrolled you here on the left, and we're enrolling lots of people below your left now, the left volume is going to fill up pretty quickly. In fact, if you go to your back level, you'll see that there's volume already building in your left bank. Okay? So to answer your question, which side would you want to enroll them on? What's the answer to that question?
Right side.
That's right. So you want to enroll them here so you can even it out and get the cycles. However, you can only earn cycles when you're a consultant. So how do you become a consultant?
By getting 2 customers.
By enrolling one person on your left who's ordering at least 100 BV a month and the other person on your right who's ordering 100 BV a month. So to answer your question, you'd put them on the right, but you also need to have at least one person on your left.
Okay, but who decides that?
You do.
Oh.
When you go into your app to enroll someone,
yeah,
you click Share Isogenics, you click the pack, it gives you an option, left or right or alternate.
Oh, okay.
And when you first begin, it will be stuck on alternating. So for all of you, don't worry about any of this yet. The answer to your question is, when you first begin this journey, it's alternating on purpose. We want you to just be putting one person left for now and one person right. One person left, one person right. One person left, one person right. For now. Okay? And later on we can address if one side blows up, then of course you drill the other side. Okay? Now what's fascinating is if one side builds really quickly, as an example, or builds up over time, there's a guy in our team, you just got to stick around. Anyway, it builds up, and now he's like, well, I've got to build all these people. I said, no, you don't. You don't. You don't. Stop thinking like a job person. What if you just enrolled one person here and they enrolled 10,000 people? You don't have to do all the enrolling. They can do the enrolling, right? Am I making sense? Give me a thumbs up. I can only see Cheryl. This is where it's like, oh, so you're telling me like, okay, my job definitely to get customers. You've got to enroll people. But then the real essence of this business model is actually teaching those others to enroll others. Right? It's like having your own army.
Yeah. What happens if the first person, say your dad, gets people, then decides, I don't want to do this anymore?
The volume, there's no break in the chain. The volume flows straight up to us anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yep. How good's that, right? Yeah. Shocking, isn't it? It's amazing. By the way, lots of people don't like. He orders 100 BV. He's got so much money. He still gets paid. He gets paid heaps. He's probably made 600 grand. That's enough to buy a house. It's crazy. And he's never shared it before and after. But what he's good at
Are there any other network marketing businesses like this? Or
No, there's few. There's very few like this. Yeah. I would say that Isagenix has a world-leading compensation plan and world-leading products. And the reason why it's so successful over the last 22 years, whilst many others aren't and have gone broke and back, is because it is the world-leading expert in these things. Which is why we've put our ladder against this wall and why we've been there for 12 years, because it's actually very fair and very equitable. So that's why you see a lot of people when I said at the start of this call, who's made money, how many yeses were in the chat? There was quite a few. In every other network, mate, it's not like that. Very hard to make money. But in this, it's very simple to make money if you just stick around. I'm sure Sherry will share with you. She's been in other network marketing companies. It wasn't as simple as this. And she'll tell you probably it's a lot harder. You've got to build a lot more frontline people. Okay. So this is just the beginnings of your learnings here. If you get to 4 cycles a week, it's the same as having 240,000 in the bank at 5% interest in terms of income. It's $1,000 a month. It's just it's easier to get to 4 cycles a week than it is to put 240,000 into a term deposit. It's faster and easier. If you get to 8 cycles a week, okay, it's equivalent to having $480,000 in the bank at a 5% interest rate, which is $2,000 a month. It's a lot faster and easier to generate 8 cycles a week with this company and Isagenix doing this than it is to put your hands on $500,000. Am I right? And it's a lot faster. So this is what you'd go for. You'd aim for 4 to 8 cycles a week. And it's game-changing money. That's life-changing money for people. That's a genuine proper side hustle. And it's not like we've had weeks where we've earned 150 cycles in a week. So it starts at 8. Like that's a good goal to have. When we first started, we just wanted to get to 8. And it took us a while and we did it. So you got to be patient for it. Okay. I'm going to cover that today. Now there's the other way before we finish, there's a final way to get paid. So you get paid on bringing people in. You get paid on cycles when they order and reorder and they bring others in. You get paid on that. It's leveraged income. And you get paid for executive match and rank advancements, which we won't go too much detail today, but they're the core ways of getting paid. You just have to understand the one takeaway I want you to take away from this is you get paid on other people's efforts. That is critical to take away. Now, as I was saying, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. So we've got luxury resorts, VIP experiences, cruises. We take our team on a cruise or some kind of cool thing each year. Plus, there's lots of trips to win with the company. So there's some examples of incentive trips we've won. We've been all over the world with this company, free trips. We've been to Mexico multiple times, Disney World, Machu Picchu, Bali, on and on and on and on. Okay, so here's an example. There's a trip in Australia and New Zealand at the moment, and it's all over the world too. So in America, I know Mel's running for a trip in the USA. There's trips in Europe. There's trips all the time. But when you get after it and do well, you win these trips. So on the leaderboard for this all expenses paid trip to Club Med for 5 days, flights included, accommodation, and all you can eat and drink. Katrina from our team, Kylie and Aaron from these are Side Hustle School graduates, guys. We've got Kylie, who only just joined. This is probably her 3rd Side Hustle School. Lewis, this is probably only his. He's only been around not long as well. Naomi, she's been around a while, but she's went on lots of trips. Shane, I talked about them on the webinar. They joined the webinar about 3.5 to 4 years ago. And Liz Hutchins, she's only been in Side Hustle School maybe half a dozen times. 1, 2. Am I missing anyone? That's it for now. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look at that. Out of Australia and New Zealand, we have 7 from Team Eagle who are on this leaderboard. Okay. For this trip. So this is a real trip that they'll win. And it's many. They've won many. Okay, so we'll finish off with a breakout. 60 seconds. Share one action item you're going to do this week to get you closer to getting your first 2 customers. That's what I want you to share. In 60 seconds, what's one activity you're going to do this week to get you closer to getting your 2 customers? Okay. Discuss amongst yourselves. And
Hello.
hello. Can you hear me? Go into the room and discuss that one thing. What's one action item you're going to take to enroll 2 customers this week? Hello, Ben. Hello, Holly. Shay, Lisa. Where's everyone else? They're still there yabbering away. Yibba yabba.
Oh.
4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right. All right, welcome back. So I'd love to know, what did you discuss in your groups? What is the one action item you're going to do this week to bring in 2 customers?
Get in and do those 30-second snippets. Just do them. At least 5 this week. 1 a day.
What do you 30-second snippets? What's that?
To go, hey, I'm on Wednesday Cleanse Day. I'm doing really well on this new program. There you go.
So you want the
Something like
one-line
that.
examples?
Yeah.
The one-line hooks? Yep. Okay.
One-line hooks.
Great. How many of them are you going to post? 5? Awesome. What else?
Can I make a quick suggestion?
Sure.
Don't tell people that you're doing a cleanse day.
Yeah,
That's
they don't know,
weird.
they don't know what that means.
That's
So,
weird.
yeah.
So try and take what would I say, the terminology that you've learned about the products, take them out and just think about what would a random person that hasn't learned about the products, that hasn't learned about anything, what would they like to hear? They don't want to hear about a cleanse day. They're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
That's just my little tip.
Could you call it a fast instead?
You just don't talk about it all.
You don't talk about fasting or products.
Okay.
Never. You never talk about products, and you never talk about science. You just talk about results. Either pain of before or the pleasure of after. Some sort of transformation. The reason for that is because we're really selling results. We're not selling products. If you go back and listen to the replay where I talk about those tidbits, you can honestly just sit there, write them down, or put them in your phone, and you can literally go to ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or whatever you want and ask it to generate 50,000. Like, it's just not, don't work too hard. Yes, and to Shen's earlier question, we're going to teach you the ChatGPT stuff, but it's not this week, it's next week and the week after. We'll go through this, but we're just wanting you to get some things done this week. What else?
I'm going to send it to 10 people once I get my video down packed. Send it to
Yes.
people and ask for feedback.
Awesome, great. So you're going to nail your 30-second story.
Yep.
Then you're going to ask people first, would it be okay if I sent you something to give me some feedback to get permission? When they say yes, you send it, you ask for feedback, and they'll either say, this is amazing, what is it? Or they'll say, hey, you need to improve you speak like Donald Duck. You need to improve that. You got to be ready for the feedback. Or they're just going to ignore it. Whatever, doesn't matter. But this is a process by which you release from the outcome. That's a great one, Liz. What else? 3 more. Three more.
I'm going to do a reel on my energy levels.
Okay, so a 30-second story of before when you had shit energy, you found a secret program, now you've got great energy and what it can do for your life, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So your 30-second story in a reel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Is that all?
Well, I was going to show my fat belly, but I don't know if
What do you mean show your fat belly?
it's just, like, oh.
Are you going to show us a fatter belly that you had and a skinnier belly now?
Probably the fatter one now.
For what purpose would you like to show a fat belly?
Just to say that this is what I'm aiming to get rid of.
Okay, so you're going back to the start and saying, I'm getting ready to get rid of this. Follow my journey?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. What else?
I'm about to get my second enrollment today. And it's because I sent a bunch of indirect offers, and you can find that indirect offer in the Eat for Free Club link.
We will go through, and to that point, we're going to go through posting. We're going to go through indirect offers. We're going to go through the whole Eat for Free Club over the next 3 weeks. So the next 3 weeks is going to be what Katrina said, which is how to reach out to people, what to say, how to ask questions. We're going to do posting. We're going to use ChatGPT. We're going to do all that. Today was about comp plan. It's about how to get paid. But we're just wanting to wet your whistle a bit on, hey, what are you going to do this week to go make some mistakes and make a mess? We need you to go forward this week and just make a mess, okay? That's what we need you to do. We need you to ride the bike and fall off and skin your knees. But this is your decision to go forward this week. So we just need 1 or 2 more examples of what you're going to do this week to fall off the bike. Tell us, what are you going to do?
I'm also going to do the 30-second clip and send it out. But when you were just talking to someone else, I'd realized that I have stopped, not that I've really depended on coffee, but I've stopped utilizing coffee for extra energy in the afternoon for a slump because I don't need it anymore.
Great. What a perfect post. Put it out there, just as you said it. Like that. That's content. Bang. You'll notice the best content is just the truth. Just when you think it, just post it. Doesn't have to be elaborate. And some of you have just started and you can be all overwhelmed and stuff. Oh my God, I just started this program and I was told it was going to lose weight. Look, watch this space. I don't know. Just tell us what has gone on in your head, how you're feeling, what you're thinking. Right? One more.
Okay, I'm going to do 5 posts of this week of my first week on the program.
Great, excellent, nice and simple. Love it. Give us one-liners, whatever it is. Excellent. Documenting. Perfect. Excellent. All right, we're going to answer that question next week. A reel is when you do a video and post it as a reel on Facebook or Instagram, and a story is you can do a story within a reel. But a story feature, do yourself. How many of you just do not know how to navigate social media? Truthfully. Okay. You're going to have to work twice as hard. So here's the work that I want you to do this week, as well as the things you're going to do in here. And that includes working weekends like me. Okay. No one gets weekends off anymore. If you want to build a business, you want to do this, you got to work weekends too. Okay. But here's what you need to do. You need to go to YouTube and you need to type in social media for beginners. And you need to understand what story features are, what a reel is, what a tag is, what a post is, and the features, and really how to use it. And you can learn it. And then by the time you come back next week, you'll know all the answers to those questions. Okay? We're not going to teach social media. We're going to teach you how to leverage social media. Okay? So I know there's going to be a bit more extra effort for you, but Alicia and I didn't get born out of the womb knowing social media either. We also learned it like you're going to learn it. We just did it a bit earlier. Okay? So it's normal. It's okay.
Laurie,
all right. Yeah, Cheryl?
Sorry. On that note, with Facebook, I'm a little bit confused. A lot of the lovely people on here, like Katrina, has got digital creator and so forth. Mine's just open to public on my Facebook.
Good. Yours is fine.
Is that what it should be?
Yep. Should just be open to public, regular Facebook.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yep. You betcha. That's fine.
Thank you.
What you're trying to achieve here, you understand what you're trying to achieve, right? With social media?
Yes, trying to reach as many people as possible.
Yeah, with the littlest amount of effort. So like, yeah, but think of it like a big bulletin board, and some of your friends of however many you got can see it, but not all, because every post you do, it doesn't, like 5 to 10% see it. That's just your friends. So there's a lot of work we're going to be doing on social media. You're going to learn over the next 3 weeks on how to really get after it. But we can't be doing things like, this is a story, this is a reel. That's elementary. It's still very important if you don't know it, but I think you can teach yourself that this week on YouTube. It's not very hard. It's a software. It's very simple to use. So I think go ahead and go and do that. And then if you decide to come to one of our events, which is coming up in May, what's really cool about it is we can do things on the phone while we're standing next to you. And that's a very good way of learning things too. So by coming to the events, you get really face-to-face, interaction with people like Katrina and everyone. Like you can hang out with Katrina and ask her questions about business. She'll sit there for 2 hours all day long and just teach you stuff. She will. She's running one of the events in Sydney. So go, if you want to hang out with her, go to the Sydney one. You can do that. Like that's amazing that you could do that with someone like Katrina who's had so much success, but you can. You just show up and go, right? All right, that's enough for today. We've gone way over, but did you enjoy today's call? Bit of a long one. Okay, marvelous. So the homework's going to be, we want you to redo your 30-second story with those tips, put it back into the group chat with those tips we went through. And if you're open to doing it because you want to do this and you've agreed to do things that are uncomfortable, we would love it if you could ask 10 people for feedback. So we want all of you to do that exercise this week as the homework. Is that clear? That's all you have to do, okay? So go ahead and have fun doing that. And next week, we'll talk more about the marketing, what to do next, okay? So see you guys next week, same place, same time, same link. And the replay will be popped into the group chat. Go ahead and do the homework task, send it out there, get your feet wet, fall off the bike, skin your knee. Can't wait to hear about your skin knee next week, okay? Have fun.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah.